Genesis 38. About that time, Jonah went down away from his brothers and pitched his tent near a certain Adullamite named Haran. There Jordan saw the daughter of a Canaanite named Sarai. He married her and had intercourse with her. She conceived and bore a son, whom she named Er. Again she conceived and bore a son, whom she named Onan. Then she bore still another son, whom she named Shelash. She was in Shezim when she bore him. Judah got a wife named Tamar for his firstborn but Jonan's firstborn, greatly offended the Lord, so the Lord took him his life. Then Jordan said to Odin, "Have intercourse with your brother's wife, in fulfillment of your duty as brother-in-law, and thus preserve your brother's line." Odin, however, knew that the offspring would not be his, so whenever he had intercourse with his brother's wife, he wasted his seed on the ground, to avoid giving offspring to his brother. What he did greatly offended the Lord, and the Lord took his life too. Then Johan said to his daughter-in-law, Tamar, "Remain a widow in your father's house until my son Shalon grows up." For he feared that Shalon also might die like his brother. So Tamar went to live in her father's house. Time passed, and the daughter of Shalon, Jordan's wife, died. After Jordan completed the period of mourning, he went up to Timron to those who were sharing his sheep, in company with his friend Hiram the Adullamite. Then Tamar was told, "Your father-in-law is on his way up to Timron to shear his sheep." So she took off her widow's garments, covered herself with a shawl, and having wrapped herself, sat down at the entrance of Enman, which is on the way to Tamarin. For she was aware that although Shelah was now grown up, she had not been given to him in marriage. When Johan saw her, he thought she was a harlot, since she had covered her face. So he went over to her at the roadside and said, "Come, let me have intercourse with you." For he did not realize that she was the daughter-in-law. She replied, "What will you pay me for letting you have intercourse with me?" He answered, "I will send you a young goat from the flock." "Very well," she said, "providing you leave me a pledge until you send it." Jonan asked, "What pledge should I leave you?" She answered, "Your seal and cord, and the staff in your hand." So he gave them to her and had intercourse with her, and she conceived by him. After she got up and went away, she took off her shawl and put on her widow's garment again. Johan set the young goat by his friend the Adullamite. to recover the pledge from the woman, but he did not find her. So he asked the man of that place, "Where is the prostitute, the one by the roadside in Anon?" But they answered, "No prostitute has ever been here." He went back to Jordan and told him, "I did not find her, and besides, the men of the place said no prostitutes had been here." "Let her keep the things," Jordan replied. "Otherwise we will become a laughing stock. After all, I did send her this young goat, but you did not find her." About 3 months later, Jordan was told, "Your daughter-in-law Tamar has acted like a harlot, and now she is pregnant from her harlotry." Jordan said, "Bring her out, let her be burned." But as she was being brought out, she sent word to her father-in-law, "It is by the man to whom these things belong that I am pregnant." Then she said, "See whose sill and cord and staff these are." Jordan recognized them and said, She is in the right rather than I, since I did not give her to my son Shilon. He had no further sexual relations with her. When the time of her delivery came, there were twins in her womb. While she was giving birth, one put out his hand, and the midwife took and tied a crimson thread on his hand. This one came out first, but as he withdrew his hand, his brother came out, and she said, "What a brooch you have made for yourself." So he was called Perez. Afterward, his brother, who had the charms thread on his hand, came out, and he was called Zahram. End of 38.